We're early. Oh, I'm tired this morning as usual, but I have magic. I have good buffs on with 4 hours left, so I thought, what the heck? I'm here. I'm ready to go. Let's just knock this out. Did grind my way up to 85% yesterday, so we should be able to just do one-dimensional haul and a couple of daily quests, and then we are rock and roll. Hello, Nick. Hello. I started early and you're still here. I suppose good evening to you? Or is it more like afternoon for you? Oh, I was about to make a terrible mistake. At what point does it go from good afternoon to good evening? Maybe 6 o'clock? Oh, I never did end up making any food either. Now, we could definitely just use quests to, our daily quests to grind up to 99% and save the dimensional haul for after while I've got the buffs on, but honestly, not that worried. I do want to make some, try to make a chicken pot pie though. Saffron salmon, I might have some of those. Oh yeah, Restore's got some. We'll grab that, try and make chicken pot pie, and then it's just the, probably gonna have to grind about 5% after we finish Dimensional Haul. And I never did end up getting cooking. The mini game is quite challenging on the harder food items, that's for sure. I don't have any good cooking equipment on this account yet. I don't have anything on this character. I don't remember if the chicken pot pies are easy, but also, hello Gamsey. I'm about to do it without one of my books too. Oh, enjoy! TFT Europe Masters, is that a sport? No, it's a esport, it appears. Wait, that was only like 6%? I could have sworn it was around 9% when we did it the other day, but you know, that's my mistake for forgetting. But you know what we have? We have the bonus on the Mirabelle experience quests as well. Yep. Tree game. Now, yesterday I actually pulled up my controller and started running dungeons for a little while. Maybe I'll do that. Alright, you can tell when I'm on my controller because my mouse will start moving in straight lines only. Right, I just have to get used to where the different skills are, because normally I like my gap closer on that button. Honestly, I think I'm strong enough that I can just bring everybody with me to the boss. It's a solo mode after all. You can't actually. So hold on a second. I'll activate the program to be visible on screen too. Just making the screen gradually more and more cluttered. Hold on. Whoa. It should be this one. There we go. It's kind of small up in the corner here, but basically this program just converts all the button presses on my controller into keystrokes. So my keyboard is just... Oh, I'm invisible. My keyboard is just my controller just becomes a really weird shaped keyboard. It doesn't actually natively support controllers. So what I got over here on, this is L1 as a space, so I can jump. Oh, I'm dying. A little bit more attacking. So yeah, I gotta use L1 for jump, L2 for target, for tab. And then the skills are on the face buttons. I've used R1 as the control key so I can access my second line of skills there. And then R2 I've just set as my, as usually what I consider to be the strongest skill on every class, just so that it's conveniently always in the same place and easily accessible. It is a bit janky though, because you have a little bit less control over the target you're aiming at, which when I'm playing with the keyboard and mouse I can like very carefully select the... I can attempt to very carefully select a target for the most efficient use of my skills. For example, when I'm running with people that are a little faster with me, I'll intentionally target somebody ahead and use a gap closer to keep up, right? Here, you kind of just get tab target and that's about it. And anything else, you gotta move your mouse down here and like right click it. Alright, we'll throw that debuff on him and then a Hymn of Doom caught. I think that's basically the main way that I'm going to be able to damage is the just a quick debuff and Hymn of Doom. Maybe throw in a triple fire thingy here once in a while. Hello, Assassin. Oh, I should get a couple more Questy XP books too. We're going to need those. Honestly, I still have my cards from last night when I was learning. May as well learn a couple more. You know what? You'll see. Oh, that's my anti-micro. It's the program I use to handle my controller. Oop, there we go. So basically, I just used anti-micro to rebind every button on my controller to a key on the keyboard instead. And then I can use that to play the game even though it doesn't support controllers. It's not hacks, there's literally no macros in there. Yeah, you can tell when I'm using the controller and the mouse because this is what my mouse looks like and this is what a controller looks like. Boy, if I had unlimited LP, do you think I'd be sitting here getting nervous over 5 experience books? But yeah, just rebound everything on the controller to what I need to get through the game. But as I was just saying, the downside is that you can't really easily select the specific target you want because you have to rely on tab target. It's not very convenient to come over and manually select your target. Actually, that's a really good question. Hold on, let me just knock these guys out and I'll show you. I go into the settings. Where is the... okay, so you see how we have turn left and turn right as options for the controls? I can turn the camera by using the turn left and turn right options there. So I've just bound the axis of my right stick to numpad 1 and 3, so depending on how much I tilt my stick, it presses the 1 and 3. As for up and down, it's a little bit harder because there is no automatic control for 1 and down, so it actually, at some point while I'm tilting the stick up and down, it clicks, so sometimes it moves. But that clicks and drags and slightly moves the mouse to enable me to adjust the camera up and down, but sometimes the cursor gets stuck off screen a bit, or goes way too high up, or sometimes, I'll do this intentionally here, I can remove things from my skill bar if I do it while the mouse is over the skill bar. I want that back. I suppose that might work, but I've gotten used to using L1 as jump, and once you get used to it, my select button is... Yeah, I just dropped my controller because it's too many things to press at once. My select button is also a mouse click, so I could use that to more fine-tune control it, but I just like the familiarity of the right stick handling everything. Sorry, Achikun, I wasn't ignoring you there. Unlimited bacon, but no more games, or games? And no games? I don't know. If there's no games at all in the second option, and there's no games at all in the first option, what happened to all the games? Yeah, if I had like one more button, like in L4 or something. Okay, my controller, it's actually quite old. It's a PlayStation 3 controller that is wired. Like a third-party wired PlayStation 3 controller. I really like it because it's super, super light. But it's got no rumble, it's got no nothing. It's the most bare bones controller you could possibly have. But for a game like Aura Kingdom, even the number of skills that I can get by using the control button on one of my L's to add. I mean, I could get more if I used Shift as R2, yeah. But I decided against it. Hello, Kevin. Unfortunately, Aura Kingdom Impact is not out yet, and I'm not one of the streamers who got early access. Also, this class won't be available in Aura Kingdom Impact when it comes out. But it should look the same, so this is your graphical experience. Yay, with one of those. That should do. I'm still in combat, though. Sometimes it feels like the speed of the mobs depends on your own move speed, because you end up waiting the same amount of time at the end of the dungeon, no matter how fast you are. Dailies. You know, it's hard to say what they're planning on doing for Aura Kingdom Impact, right? But I suppose dailies are kind of a part of, like, any online games these days, since they want you to come back for something. Right now, I'm running them because I'm trying to get to level 101, which means I need 99% experience. Oh, I didn't realize I had this here. Now, I'm specifically targeting things that I'm gonna need in my weapon master here, so this is probably not ideal for most players. But because Lance has a pretty good amount of extra bonus crit damage, if I use the crit damage nodes here, I was definitely gonna overcap. Otherwise, I don't think this is a very good show of where to place your stats if you're looking for advice. Hello, Oken. The difference between Aura Kingdom Impact and the current version, there's quite a few, but I think one of the main ones is going to be that you're going to be able to change your main class freely, whereas in this game, if you want to play multiple main classes, you have to level them up separately, which is what I'm doing here. Ooh. There's things called gacha eggs, but they're more like lucky packs. They don't have gacha animation or anything. They're literally just boxes you open. Do we have any on the Paragon right now? Here. So we have Eidolon summoned companions that can fight with you, and you usually can get them off of the gambling table, but it's not gacha in the same sense of like flashy animations. I could show you, but I literally don't have any tokens for it right now because I spent all mine trying to get a cool dude last week. It looks like this. This is the high intensity gambling. Not really. Ooh, Advanced Mastery Book. These are free tokens you can get in game. This is a gambling table. You can get some free tokens for every week. They've said that they are planning on making the tokens for the gambling table available. It was the costume. It was the cool costume from last week. Hold on. Yeah, it's made by the same people. Hold on. I said cool dude, but what I meant was this thing. This outfit. I really wanted it. I couldn't get it. I wanted it so bad. Oh, sorry. Hello, Daniel. The classes for Aura Kingdom Impact on release are going to be, and this is a challenge for me every time. I don't know why. Just lock in. We have the new class, the Floating Cannon. Then we have Duelist, Tachi, the longsword, Wizard, Stellar Sphere, and Chib. The Starcaller, the one that fights with the little dragon puppet. And you can change your class at any time, so you don't really need to lock in on one at the very start, the same way that you have to in this game, basically, and then you're stuck with what you got. I think that a really good class to pick is gonna be the Stellar Saphir. Yeah, I know, Ken no Raf. My personal idea is I'm thinking I'm gonna try the new class, because obviously it's gonna be new to me. But I think Stellar Saphir is actually a better choice for new players because it's gonna have a better AoE. You're right that the Chib is a very strong class, but I feel that it's a little bit harder to play compared to Stellar Saphir, and Stellar Saphir was just like an absolute breeze to get through Awakening on my this is my scrub account. It was just super easy, super fun, giant AoE. It's got a lot of support capabilities. It's got great buffs that you can pick from, and there's going to be very limited options for healing in Aura Kingdom Impact, so having a healing buff is going to help a lot, I think. Sorry Kurt, I didn't mean to ignore you there. I was just off on my rant there. The current graphics you see should basically be what we see in Aura Kingdom Impact. I watched some of the live streams. I didn't see any massive changes. They've added some more costumes, that's about it, but it's going to look like this. Yeah, the way that they're, so one of the systems that they're adding in on Aura Kingdom Impact is the ability to modify your skills. So right now, I mean, not on this account, but there's a couple, how many Eidolons? There's 150 Eidolons. And once you've got a party of 3 that you're kind of set on, because you have your starter and then 3 that you can swap in and out, you kind of don't do anything with those other ones. So what they've created is a system where you can put your Eidolons into your skills to change their effects, and I think that that's not only kind of cool because you can modify your class, but like to be a little bit more like what you want, but it also gives us something to do with all those Eidolons. So I'm very excited about that. The guitar class is not going to be available on release, Daniel, unfortunately. It's actually not very popular, so I would love to see them try to like rework it to be a little bit more viable once they release it. Where is the global server hosted? You know, I believe that I was told it was a virtual server, and I just left it at that. I'm not sure where this current one is hosted. I would assume that the other one will be hosted either in the same place, like a data center, probably. I don't know, I guess I kind of would assume it would be Taiwan, since that's where the company's based. But that's actually a good question, because I don't know for a fact. As for Impact is under X Legend. Current AK is not going to have any massive changes coming. they've released these remaster, I guess you could say, servers for other games that they've released, and the original versions are still functioning separately for those ones as well. So we shouldn't see any significant changes. Maybe a bunch of players give a shot to the new one, but you know, we'll see. Alright, 97%. I think the easiest way to do this would just be to do some daily quests. Trying to think of the most efficient way. Well, I mean, I'm playing on the area server, right? Like, this is the former area server. They merged together the 4 different language servers, and it's doing pretty good considering its age. I think if you're trying to decide right now if you would want to play the new server or the old one, this current server, there's a lot of bonuses that you get as you rush up through the levels, because over the years they've added in a bunch of goodies that are given to new players especially, and it's a lot of really good stuff. So the account I'm playing on right now, I actually started last year to see how the new player experience was, and I'm feeling pretty positive about the experience that I've had so far, knowing what I know about the game, but not having the resources that I had on my main account. That being said, you really don't see a lot of players in the early game, because if you check out some of my other live streams that I've done in the past, on my main account, it takes me 11 hours to get from level 1 to 100. So you're not going to spend too long in these areas, meaning that you're not going to see a bunch of people, and that kind of puts people off, and I completely get that. Because when you're running through these maps and you don't see anyone, it's like, well, there's nobody here. But it's just that nobody spends any time here. So I think that if you were planning on starting, you probably will have a better community experience on the new server, but I can't make any comment about what resources you're going to have available to you as a new player there, because it's not out. Everybody's going to start from the same place though, so at the very least you're starting on the same footing, right? You're not 10 years behind people. They've made some decisions that I'm super happy about, and they've made some decisions that I'm like, huh? Because there's no like dedicated support class, right? There's nothing that I look at and think, oh, that's a subclass. Yeah, that is one of the changes they made. They've made it so the archive is only flat stats. I also noticed that even though they had a bunch of like eidolons listed in the eidolon book here, they only had 2 pages of archive. So it also looks like they're probably not going to be releasing all the eidolons at once. Hey, look at that, that was just enough. Alright, we're going to try to make a chicken pot pie, and then we're going to head on to Awakening. So I need some saffron. Duelist subclass? Really? I wouldn't even know how to play it as a subclass. I suppose you read through and check out which buffs are going to be helpful. Hello, Ayumire. Probably depends on what your objective is. So if you're just looking to pick up or to get a lot of resources so that you can start spending like gold on maybe eidolons to build up your companions to fight with you, I think probably the main thing that people do when they're medium tier spenders will be to grab the I don't even spend money, so it's hard for me to find stuff. Here we go. But ruby coins, which are the gambling tokens for the table, and then sell them to other players. I don't know what the rate is because I don't buy ruby coins off of other players, but I think sometimes it's about 3 times? Is that what it's at right now? I don't know. I honestly try to avoid the gambling table as much as possible because it's I use my weekly RC and then I'm done. I don't get tempted by the by buying RC off of other players because I'm broke. I still need to sell my Bond trophy. You. Need you. Alright, where are my pot leaves? Right. Night leaves. Chicken pot pie leaves. No. They've also said that they're planning on making sure that the LP store, which is an in-game currency, has a lot of costumes and whatnot in it, so you're not going to be like restricted to only the weird, cheap-looking in-game stuff like the default costumes if you're not spending money. That being said, when they were doing the live streams with some influencers, I did notice that they looked a little on the expensive side in the LP store, but it is like in-game farmable. It's really going to depend on what's available. I'm wearing a green costume right now. Shoot, chicken pot pie, I need these. Oh, they have 2 green leaves in here. Eggs and the flatter looking leaves. This isn't too bad. Oh, I said it, and then I goofed. Hey, look at that. We doubled. Okay, maybe this is gonna sound like I was trying to use an exploit, but what I thought to myself when I was in a moment of weakness was, hey, what if I set it so if I hold a button and it just keeps clicking, and then I just move my mouse, because I find that my wrist kind of hurts a bit when I click and move the mouse at the same time, especially when it's fast, but it seems like there's a built-in thing that stops you from clicking that fast. I am not hacking! I literally was just explaining that they prevent you from being able to click that fast. Like, it doesn't register the clicks at all if you do it that way. So actually what I had done was I changed a key on my keyboard to a click, and then just move the mouse and tap with my hand, kind of like it's OSU or something. A little bit easier. But I don't remember what button I put the click on, so right now I'm just using my mouse like a normal person. Anyway, chicken pot pie. And of course a coffee. We're gonna roll with that. But yeah, anyway, I totally am wearing green costume right now, because I don't have anything else for the little guy. Honestly, main issue with playing the younger body types is that their costumes are so much more expensive, and for the little guys, there's literally nothing available in the LP store in this game, so I hope they do a better job of making all 4 types have stuff available. Because you'll be able to play any class on any body type on the new one. Oh, my game crashed. They couldn't handle me. Stare into the void. I think my computer is fine. Potato game. Navia was too strong. You know, I've actually never had a laptop. I've always had a desktop computer. Even when I went to university, I lugged around a giant desktop computer, and when I absolutely had to have something to write on in class that was not paper, I had a very janky Microsoft tablet. And I say janky because one of the Microsoft updates that would automatically update itself would kill my it'd kill my Wi-Fi chip, and the only way to fix it was to roll back the Microsoft update. So I literally had to just not get any updates on my tablet or it would die. Duelist skin with the fans. Do you mean the fancy one or the one that's the fangirl fans? Costumes. Weapon. We have the fans in here? No, we don't. Not in the LP store. I use the giant black and gold fans on my duelist. Because I think they, or rather I did before I made it into a dude. I think they're sick as heck. We didn't finish before the Age of Empires music ended. That was kind of my goal, but I forgot how much to experience in Dimension Hall, so that's my bad. They're fans. If we come over here to the preview weapon. I used to use these ones on my duelist because I think they're absolutely gorgeous. But when you say fans, this is what I thought of first, was the fan club fans. You know what? I actually used them with one of the costumes that is super easy to get a hold of because it drops in the Vault of Eternity. So you get this one. You put the body in black. I think that part needs to be black as well. And then you throw on like a light yellow. And then you come over to weapon. Now we're cooking. Like, look at that. Perfect. Oh, hey, Conk. I love how big the AoE on this skill is. Infernal Exile. It's the one that replaced the previous one that you could use while you weren't in combat. Love the size of the AoE, but I don't feel like it massively changes how the class is played as compared to Bow, where you basically have to learn an entirely new style of play from scratch. Ping pong rackets? They've actually got all sorts of weird stuff, like they have the bananas too, right? I know they have bananas. How come it doesn't come up? Bananas. Oh, my inventory's a bit of a mess, huh? Oh, I should not have opened that. Oops. Well, Conk, that is the plan, but it depends on a couple things. So, if there's a pre-install, and the servers go live at 9 o'clock my time, like 9 p.m., I might play for a little bit that night, but 9 o'clock is my bedtime, because I still wake up at 4:15 a.m. no matter what I do. My alarm goes off at 4:15. I usually wake up a little bit before it too. So, wait, I forgot I switched your tab. There we go. So it depends how sleepy I am and if there's a pre-install. Because if there's a pre-install, maybe you could go for like an hour and a half-ish at 9 o'clock and not fall asleep. But otherwise, I might start just first thing in the morning. Try to reserve my name, go to bed, and then to get the game on first thing in the morning. And that's gonna, like I said, that's gonna depend whether there's a pre-install. As soon as we figure that out, I will create like the stream announcement on my channel, so you'll be able to see a countdown to when it'll start. Either way, the first day I gotta get in there and reserve my name, right? So I'm gonna try my best to... I don't know, what can I do to install it faster if there's no pre-install? Disconnect everybody else from the internet. It's a lot of tails. They did a pre-install for the current version when they were transferred it from area back to X Legend, so I don't see why they wouldn't. But you know, they've done sillier things. Alright, so we are back to heading into Awakening now. I'm gonna grab a manual. I'm gonna grab one of my temporary manuals because I'm going to finish, but we're gonna try and do it without a manual. Alright, we got golden latte, creamy chicken pie, any other buff items that I could use? I don't really have a lot of, like, other buff items. I'll just throw this crap in there, I'll deal with it later. Oh, masteries! My accuracy should be fine. But you know, it might not be fine. The fact that I don't even have mid-level best defense, so my defense might be quite low. This could be a problem. I think I already took all of the dragon points out of these boxes. Yeah, I've already got all the dragon points I can get out of these boxes, so that's not gonna help me. How can I get some quick... Oh, extreme speed! I mean, that's not nothing, but it's not that helpful either. Alright, we're just gonna do a real quick check on my alt count, or alt characters, to see whether or not I've got enough to get at least green extreme speed on one of them. Oh, sorry, not extreme speed, best defense. I think I did a bunch of Gaia on her. Oh yeah, we got our masteries here. Alright, we're gonna grab a Zeal then. We have extreme speed. Well, it's just I didn't have any dragon points on that character because they didn't run any dungeons in the area where they would get regular dragon points, and they also didn't do the quests that give you regular dragon points now, so... Best defense! Ta-da! I suppose I should also check the ones for my class, right? Lance... Move speed... Yeah, we'll take that. I'm using that one, so we'll take that. I think if I have to get any of the higher oh, I don't have enough dragon points here anyway. There we go. Not nothing. I probably should have grabbed my Isai contract as well, but whatever. I don't even remember what character it's on. I didn't... Oh, there it is, yeah. Merciless Soul Strangler. And then I've got some gold dragon points. If I have... Oh no, I don't have any Sky Tower sigils, so that's not gonna work. Oh, these are all Sky Tower, aren't they? Yeah. Well, we're going in with what we got. I mean, they're all green. If I could have gotten any of them, it would have been best defense, I think, but it is what it is. Yeah, 48% accuracy should be plenty, or at least enough. Oh, sorry, not there, here. Wait, unyieldingness? Where is that again? Maybe I'm having a moment here, but for some reason I cannot remember what unyieldingness is. Yeah, that's probably better than extreme speed. My evasion's going to be so low it doesn't make a difference, but I think I'm going to keep extreme speed because I'd like to be able to kite a bit better. I don't know that the 1% HP is going to even be worth the time it takes to heal. Oh, and I didn't even end up grabbing my manual. Oh well. I'll use a warehouse card if I need to. Well, it was worth a shot. And I'm gonna get rid of the anti-micro there because I'm not gonna use that in Awakening. Alright, last chance. I've got my crit damage Eidolon. I've got Muramasa for her buff, if I can remember to swap to her, and Kotonoha for heals, if necessary. Alrighty. There he is. Quickly check out my gear here, just to oversee. And 48%, it should be fine. Got my bad weapon, my pretty decent sub-weapon, plus 20 trophies, plus 20 accessories, and then mostly fortified up armor. Oh, my def is actually quite a bit lower than I was expecting. Maybe I really did need the orange, but too late now. I got 53 pen. And my dark attribute skill is only 38%. That's a little on the low side, but I am using a Hymn of Doom mount instead of a dark mount. And I don't have any dark damage element, the Eidolons either. Put this on. Hey, that should be fine. That looks good. If I don't die. I'm definitely hitting hard enough. I forgot Muramasa actually has had her skills fortified a bit here, so I am getting a bit of bonus. It's avoiding one-shots, right? Come on. Look, I hit the button 3 times and it didn't go. That's not on me. I missed the right click, didn't I? Oh, I didn't even use my buff. No. I'm getting hit a bit hard. In that case, maybe rather than Muramasa, who I'm not able to make really good, effective use of, we go for something like Sigrun. Oh, look at that! I still miss. Did I just get by the skin of my teeth there? You know what? Try that. Ah, that's the way to go. I definitely want to try using that triple fire skill more. And not die. Oh, hold on a second. This skill debuffs his attack. I was thinking it was kind of useless because I'm not used to needing to, but that might actually be a better... Whoop. No. I gotta remember to actually dodge stuff. This is typical for me, though. Maybe if I put that there, it's a bit more comfortable of a spot. No, I'm looking for it somewhere else. Oh, I'm taking some nasty dots here. That's what's getting me, and I can't heal from it. Alright, I am gonna go grab my manual because I don't really want to just keep suffering here. My defense is too low because I don't have the orange tier of best defense, I think. And then the dots take me out when I can't heal, so... Warehouse card. I could do that too. Should have bought courage, that might have actually helped a little bit more. Let's see, where is my manual? There we go, that's the manual. I was also right that I needed more HP, so that's cool. I'm just worried that if I respec into, too much into defense, and my HP is going to be so much lower that I won't be able to even survive the hits regardless of the higher defense. So we're going to go ahead and grab the fancy manual. Oh, so what you're saying is this is user error, huh? This is a random selection of combat music from various games. So the last one was a remix of some combat music from an Atelier game, actually. Yeah, I think the lesson here is that my pen was probably... I think pen? Oh, this has also just got all stats and damage dealt and stuff. So, what I'm learning is that Stellar Saphir is absolutely amazing of a class, because the Stellar Saphir Awakening that I did on this account had basically slightly weaker gear and was a million times easier. So right now, my recommendation for any new players is Stellar Saphir is an amazing class to play. Like, it just has absolutely amazing defensive capabilities. Like, I was not getting knocked like this. Actually, can I cancel the... No, if I cancel the manual, then I can't put it back on, right? I don't know whether or not Gren would be that bad, because it's got the healing crystal with the cleanse on it, right? Get out of that way. Oh, he got me. I'm gonna die. It's fine. But yeah, Stellar Sphere, 100% my go-to recommendation for all new players right now because of how amazing its kit is for survivability. Don't die. That was probably the wrong choice. I felt like the heal might be more important. How about you take a stun for once? No. Oh, I guess that's true, because on the new Gren, you have the crystal that'll follow you and just cleanse something every couple of seconds, right? Come here, bud. Here. And then the last guy's the easiest. Oh. Alright, so. Stellar Sphere is good. All of my other classes need a lot more investment to be able to beat this awakening easily. Got it. Oh, that's a silence. I would have thought this damage taken debuff was a little bit more helpful. But I guess I don't have enough damage dealt. Uh-oh. There. Still did it. But definitely wouldn't have not have done it that easily without the manual, and even then it wasn't very good. So Stellar Saphir not only had better debuffing and offensive capabilities, but it also was just way easier to fight because it's ranged, right? So, I mean, that didn't even help me on the new bow, and I couldn't figure out how to efficiently... Yeah, manual is very good. But Stellar Saphir is really good, because I beat Stellar Saphir Awakening in worse gear with less fortifications, because this is the same gear that I have further fortified, without a manual, without any massive preparation. Like, it was actually massively easier. The real moral of the story is that the difference between this lance and Stellar Saphir is a manual. That's what I've learned today. Anyway, now that we've finished the fight, we can switch back to the chill vibes music, because I am still going to finish off the next 3 maps while I've got all my buffs on. The cool vibes. That being said, though, everybody is going to get manuals right now because of the temporary manuals because of the patch present. Ta-da! Right, I'm gonna put on Chill Vibes playlist. Back to Chill Vibes. That last one was from one of the battle themes from the desert in Genshin Impact. This one that's playing now is from Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Gosh, I love that game. Righty, we have 3 hours left on all my buffs. I can't believe how much better Stellar Saphir is, though. Like, holy moly, my Stellar Saphir was soloing party dungeons in worse gear. And this cutie can't handle it. That's massively impressive for Stellar Saphir. I might have to take a look at their envoy and see if they've got any, like, defensive stuff going on that I didn't notice when I was setting it up. Although actually my envoy path is kind of terrible here too. Because I wanted the Hymn of Doom ones. Oh, maybe that would have been a good node to have, but I went for this one instead. Honestly, I don't know what to do with the envoy path for this rework either. I'll have to figure that one out. Oh, my coffee is done. Which reminds me, I think after that relatively unimpressive awakening, I need another one. There. Gosh, I am honestly going to go back and rewatch my Stellar Saphir Awakening just to see what... Because I remember it being, like, super, super easy, but maybe I need to double check. I don't remember using anything special for it. But it was just so much easier. Stellar Saphir really broken. Much with this now? Oh gosh, I don't even know how I would do that. Now, how would... Live. Stellar Scrub. Let me check out what my gear was looking like. Hold on a second here. That's hopping around in... You know what? I wonder if it was the dark damage mount. I'm fairly certain I got a level 4 dark damage mount that I was using for that character. So maybe the Hymn of Doom level 2 isn't strong enough, and I don't have enough alternative source of dark damage to absolutely nuke him. Okay, so my HP was right around the same level, 22 or 20,000. Sorry, 200,000-ish. I definitely had better masteries, though. And also being ranged, didn't have to get up in their face and take hits either. Did I open up my gear before I started? Put it on like 3 times speed or something. No, I did not open up my gear before I started. Good job, me. Oh, hello, Shiny Haxor. I'm a little bit surprised by their list of classes that they're using. Yeah, because there's, I mean, I kind of get that maybe having 20 classes right off the start would be a little bit like, too many options. So fair that they cut some, but it just seems like a really odd selection because none of the classes are like the ones we have that are defined party roles, like the Guardian for a tank or the Bard for healing, when they've gotten rid of basically all of the healing. Yeah. Wonder how they would rework, because the Reaper has a lot of built-in self-heals. I kind of get that they didn't want the classic classes because the newer ones are a lot flashier and cooler. Hello, Azazoth. The classes they picked are, and again, for some reason, every time I think about it, my brain erases them, so give me a moment to log in. Floating Cannon, the new one. Duelist. Tachi. Wizard. Stellar Sapphire. And Starcaller. Well, they're gonna have to basically remake all of the effects at least, because I think most classes have a little bit of lifesteal built in, and they have to remove all that because they're getting rid of all the lifesteal. Okay, in my defense, I did get it before Shiny Haxor posted it. It's just that for some reason, every time I try to recall it, my brain takes 20 seconds to remember that Duelist exists. I can get rid of Secret 2 here. Yeah, personally, I'm thinking I'm gonna try Floating Cannon since it's the new one, and obviously I want to try the new one. Might main Stellar Sapphire. I wonder what they would do, because if they remove the pets, they've removed the spirit of the class in its entirety. But a lot of them have, like, I guess you just replace the healing effect with the with some kind of debuff or buff effect instead, eh? I hate this quest so much. Not only is there way too many of these things to gather, but sometimes even once you open them, you don't get enough of the right item. Well, at least I got enough. Hello, Pillow Pants! Based on the, some streamers got some live access, or sorry, some early access to the server, and based on that, I've seen that they have revised the first map quite a bit, but I also heard that from some people that caught streamers that had moved on to the second map had a significantly less amount of changes. Wow, that was a terrible sentence, I'm sorry. So they have made some revisions, but it seems like as it goes on, it might be less. Either that or it was the pre-release server and they wanted to, and they didn't have all the changes implemented yet, but level cap at the start is also going to be 60. Yeah, the level cap's going to be 60. As for daily limits or time gates on dungeons, I did get the opportunity to see the new dungeon menu because they've added an automatically teleport to the inside of dungeon button, which I think is nice because I don't know how many times I've been in parties where somebody runs into the wrong mode and then loses a run. So the new dungeon teleport thingy, you go in and like you teleport and it takes you right inside the dungeon, and it looks like it works for solo dungeons as well, which is good for me because I like chilling back and running solo dungeons. Like even party mode, like you can even do party mode dungeons with the auto teleport thing, but it does look like there is still restrictions on the number of times you can enter them. I'm just not sure how it's implemented because the streamer that I watched was not playing in Chinese, unfortunately. I can't comment on the monetization since I haven't seen the shop. However, they have said that they are going to continue the same kind of LP store that we currently have. LP being the in-game currency that you farm by participating in events and certain like dungeons drop it. So including stuff like a good selection of costumes for cosmetics, so that you can actually look good even if you're not buying money. They said they're going to have eidolons, they said they're going to have fortification items, so it's going to be an extensive LP store that you can farm for in-game. But with that being said, that if they're being that generous with the LP store, it is questionable what's going to be available in the item shop, right? So that's going to be something to watch out for. Now, I seem to remember reading, some people were chatting in the Discord that were able to watch more of the streams that I didn't catch. And apparently the automatic teleporting to quest to NPCs is based on an item. I mean, that's a good point. One of the things about 2000s era online games is that they don't have those fancy animations that new gacha games have. So, I mean, that's something that I appreciate because I find that those animations that kind of put you in the anticipatory stage of hoping to get something good are quite bad for me. As for me, oh, like there's that too, but I don't know that I necessarily would say that there's literally pay for more power though, Shiny. I don't know that I agree with that directly. As for whether or not I'm going to spend, no. I actually just left my job of 10 years. So starting at a new job, it's going to be a little bit awkward and weird, and I'm not sure how it's going to go. It's also technically not full-time. So I'm very nervous about how many hours I'm going to be able to get. So for the time being, I'm going to be extremely low spending on anything. I'm trying to budget 40 bucks Canadian for groceries for a week, and I don't know how I'm going to make that work. I do, like I said, I do have a new job. I left my job, but I have a new one lined up. But it's what's called casual, so it's a massive raise in terms of how much I'm getting paid per hour, and there's a whole bunch of benefits that will come once I've got a little bit of seniority and I can grab one of the full-time positions. But it does start casual, and that's very nerve-wracking because I don't know right now what that's going to mean in terms of after I pay my mortgage, what's going to be left, right? So for me, there's going to be basically zero spending on video games for a while. That being said, I hit the threshold for YouTube payout. So right around the end of July, I'm gonna get a little bit of money from YouTube. I'm trying to decide whether or not I just throw that into my mortgage or if I use it to try and get something for the channel, like some gear that I was looking at. Yay! Ad revenue! And super chats. There was a couple super chats this month too. I don't put ads on the live streams though, because I feel like that really just ruins a live stream, is when you're watching, ad comes on, and then you come back and you've missed something. Actually, that's one of the reasons why I'm really nervous about the idea of Twitch. So, when I was looking into Twitch's monetization, it said basically if you're not a partner or whatever the other term that they use, but it's partner and affiliate. If you're not a partner and affiliate, it doesn't run ads. But once you're an affiliate or a partner, you have no choice but to run ads. Like, you can't choose not to, is what I read. And that makes me kind of nervous. Why is this guy so tough? The barrier stone is instantly healing. Is it? Oh, no, there we go. It was just healing a lot. Now, the threshold for YouTube payout is $100. So if over the course of a month, your like total earned from ad revenue and people that have done super chats, and there's a couple people that have very generously done super chats, which obviously helped a lot with pushing over the threshold. But once that hits $100, it continues counting to the end of the month, and then the total amount at the end of the month where you cross the $100 threshold, it pays out the next month near the end. Which means right around my birthday, I'm gonna get a birthday present from YouTube. Yay! Honestly, it's probably gonna be like 3 days before my birthday that it arrives in my account. I was thinking they have an option for YouTube where you can manually insert ads. So like, for example, if Miss Stella needs to go outside, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna run Stella outside, I'm gonna run an ad, and then after that you can watch the bouncing Stella pictures, which are actually bouncing around invisibly, you just can't see them. Oh, one of them's not bouncing. Why are you not bouncing? I don't know why one of them stopped bouncing, but that's fine. So the other thing is that the Aura Kingdom Impact is running a contest where the top prizes are Steam gift cards, and the contest is for Steam or invites to the... Stella eats good, don't worry about that. Right now she has a bone. It's like I guess it's like a rawhide bone that is stuffed with beef. And she is very happy with that. Sorry, I was gonna say right now the Aura Kingdom Impact Discord is doing an invite contest. I've actually put a link in the description of the video just in case, where it's got a prize of Steam gift cards. So if I'm able to rank in that contest, I would really like to play Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. Like, what a gorgeous looking game. Concept sounds really cool. I've actually kind of avoided looking into it ever since I thought I'd like to play it, because I feel like it seems like the kind of game that it's better to go in not knowing anything. And if I win, I think that's what I would get. That's right, it is made in France. It's their first game, isn't it? The developer? Kind of came out of nowhere? Yeah, back when I wasn't considering leaving my job, I had actually reached out to a local store and asked them to let me know when they get a second printing and copy so I could buy a physical copy, but unfortunately it doesn't look like they've been able to get a second print out. Yes, they also do have the contest for the lucky draw, but that's not that would not get me a copy of Clair Obscure Expedition 33. Now, I'm not gonna say it for any reason, but I felt like that game, Expedition 33, would have been an excellent one to play for my birthday. For no particular reason. That was a terrible thing. I have a problem where my eyes just don't wink very well. Nope. I was a little bit sad that their last one, that I didn't get even a place in their last one, because there was only about 300 entries with 100 winners, and it's like, that's a 1 in 3 chance. That's not bad. And I still lost. But yeah, so in the description of the video, there is an invite link to the Aura Kingdom Impact Discord, but just so you're fully aware, if you click it, that is definitely directly benefiting me in terms of trying to win the contest. So if you prefer not to be a part of that, don't click it. It's the weirdest advertisement I think ever. I'm really bad at this campaigning, I guess I could say. I guess it feels weird. The reason why it feels weird to me is because it's almost like basically asking for people to do something for me to get money on Steam. It feels very awkward and weird. Yeah, you need 10 people for the Muramasaki. Yeah, I've just got the I tried to make a playlist of just mostly chill vibes music. Maybe that's the reason why I'm always sleepy when I'm streaming these days. But I've got the soundtrack from Sumeru, the desert, and like the desert of Sumeru, and then the 2 from Fontaine, and then a random selection of stuff from other games that has chill vibes. Like, ooh, I'm gonna die here if I'm not careful. This one is called Cleo's Memoirs, actually. Nothing. It's gonna continue as is. The current version of the game is just gonna keep going as a separate server. They've already done other re-releases of games that existed separately, and same there, they've just run 2 servers. Although technically for Aura Kingdom, it'll be 3, because they still have the Taiwan server, our server, and then they're gonna be running the new one. I love this song for walking around the town. It's just got the exact right beat for a nice jaunty walk to the grocery store. This is actually from the 3rd town in Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Alphataria. just love the vibe. Honestly, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles soundtrack is probably one of the best, iconic, distinct sounding soundtracks of my childhood. Like, there are very few soundtracks that I still listen to from the early 2000s. I think this is the only one. I've actually put a couple other tracks from Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles on here, but it is on shuffle, so whether or not they come up is a decision for the computer. Somebody asked me to create a playlist or some way that you guys can just like see the full list of tracks from this playlist that I've got for my live streaming. So I was thinking about putting together like a just a YouTube playlist of other people's videos, in case you were curious as to what songs are on there. Oh. What other old OSTs do you like to listen to? Because like I said, I think the only one that I personally still listen to from, like, I'm gonna say my childhood, would be Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. That's all I've got in my hard drive anyway. What other old OSTs do you still listen to? Oh, sorry, I should... There's some Legend of Zelda stuff I've got as well from the older games. So not just Crystal Chronicles. And one map down. He's in town, right? I probably should check that before I just started running. Kingdom Hearts! You know, you'd think that as a JRPG fan, I would have played Kingdom Hearts, but the truth is I didn't have the right consoles for it when I was younger, so I never actually managed to get into it. I know they released that disc that was like all of the Kingdom Hearts games on one disc a little while back, and I actually picked it up, but just some of the controls in the first game were a little bit janky and I couldn't quite get through it. Or a Kingdom Hearts. The names work, but... yeah, it was a little janky. I really wish I could have gotten into it, though. I feel like I might have loved it just as much as I love the Tales of series. I would say now that I'm unemployed for a week, maybe it's the opportunity I need to just jump in and finish it, but I don't even think a week would be enough. Plus, I've got all the other stuff I want to work on this week. What do I have? I have a list of stuff I want to get done for YouTube. Then I've got a I've got my second work of fiction that I'm hoping to get out in July that I'd like to get a solid leg up on the editing. And then I want to sleep. I want to sleep so much this week. It's been 10 years since I've been unemployed. Hey, maybe it is the music that's making me sleepy. And I'm out of coffee, but I've got my water bottle. Hold on, I'm gonna pour a cup of water. Well, technically, I'm not actually unemployed for this week. When I put in my 2 weeks notice, the new job is going to start the week, like the Monday after my 2 weeks notice. But I had asked for the 2nd and the 3rd off to play Aura Kingdom Impact anyway, and July 1st is a holiday here. So I would have had July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd off anyway. So when we were looking at the schedule, I was like, do you really want me in on Monday and Friday? Because I will if you want me to, but like, do you really want that? Because I've got vacation you're gonna have to pay me out anyway because I didn't use enough of it. And they said, yeah, no, just take next week off, put in your vacation. So, technically I'm on vacation, not unemployed, but it feels like unemployed. And if you're not familiar, July 1st is actually Canada Day. Oh yeah. I'm getting attacked by snakes. Probably a bot. Yeah, so on Canada Day, it is a stat holiday, so Monday to Friday people usually get the day off or get paid extra to work it. But in general, it's usually just some parades, fireworks, nothing too fancy schmancy. And if I end up going live at 9 o'clock my time for it, yeah, I wonder if my mic will pick up all of the people that are gonna set off firecrackers around here. Because they tend to, that's just what people do. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Although, to be fair... Oh, hello, Tobias. To be fair, I have heard a lot of people say that it's better to just not log in right away anyway because... Wow, is that really another bot? Man. I think a lot of people think that it's probably not a great idea to play immediately anyway when everybody's trying to get into the server. I don't know how busy to expect it to be right off the bat, considering the time is, I think it's probably like overnight for most people in Europe and the USA, isn't it? Like either super early AM or super late night for most of Europe and the US, so... that's what I'm hoping, Shiny. If it does, I'll be able to play a little bit on the night it comes out, but 9 p.m. is my, or has been my bedtime for the last, like, 5 years, so it'll be rough for me to be up that late if it's no pre-installed and I gotta wait for that first too. Gosh, they must have a pre-install. It wouldn't make sense to not have a pre-install. Maybe I need to start listening to this music while I'm trying to go to bed because, gosh, is it making me sleepy. Can I play with my eyes closed? No. Actually, I feel like trying to play Aura Kingdom blindfolded would be impossible. Ah, come on, I wasn't in the red zone. Maybe the hitbox for the kid is still the size of the adult, and I was a little bit misled. Oh, you're running Bond Dungeons, eh? Which one are you running? $70K for level S30 armor? Really? Um. Okay. No. Sorry, Shiny Hexer. Joining a guild isn't really mandatory per se, but there are benefits to it. For example, I'm not even in a guild, but there is a little bit of an experience bonus just for being in a guild, depending on its level. And then if there's a bunch of people online, you can also get a guild buff that increases your quest experience. So, 100% totally worth being in a guild. As for making an Aura Kingdom Impact guild, I'm not sure that I want to run a guild myself because I'm going to be so busy with other stuff that I probably wouldn't be a very good guild leader. So, probably not ideal. I had a friend that asked me if I wanted to join their guild, and my criteria is that everyone in the guild has to be cool with me doing recording basically at any given time, which they said, yeah, it would be fine, but I still feel a bit nervous on behalf of other people that might join. So I'm considering, might make a nice little quiet guild, call it the coffee shop, and just wander around with a cup of coffee over my head or something. There's options. Leveling up a guild on my own sounds a bit suffering, though. I wonder if they'll revise the experience requirements for leveling up a guild. Also, hello, Dermosa? Sorry, Dermoa. Oh, how many hours until Aura Kingdom Impact is out? We've still got over 48 hours. Level pass from Impact for 500 AP. No, I'm not familiar with that. Is that like an automatic level up thing? Oh, time to sleep for 3 days. Yeah, I could go for sleep for 3 days. As for coffee replacing your natural blood, me too. That actually calls for another cup of coffee, I think. Coffee, coffee, coffee. I'm sorry, I can't quite read your name properly there, Fansu. The Lancer rework, I think it's not as, like, it doesn't change the way that the character plays as much as Warbow does. I really like how big the AoE is on this skill, like it's absolutely massive, I love it. And this Demolition Lance seems to be a really good debuff, but I'm wondering whether or not, I'm not super familiar with the way that Lance worked before because it seems like there's a lot of skills that just have slightly different effects and new animations, but themselves they're not super different. Mr. Wissapoo! The part that was reworked was mostly the animations, and you're right that it's a little hard to tell when you don't have them side by side. I actually have a video that I put out probably a couple years ago now where I just had the skill animations from Lancer. So I'm going to use that and re-record all of the new skills and put them side by side and explain the differences between them. That's my plan. I hope I can get that out this week. My plan is to get out a really good breakdown of the comparison between what the old Lancer was and what the new Lancer is. But in terms of vibes, it doesn't feel like it plays differently. It's just had the effects on the skills adjusted, for the most part, along with new animations. Oh, they do have a level rewards. But for AP, huh? Well, as I've said before, I'm not going to be spending any money on games as much as I can avoid it for the... I'm not going to be avoiding the... I'm not going to be avoiding spending money as much as possible on video games because for a little while I'm not going to have as secure of an income as I used to. Because my new job is not full-time and doesn't have guaranteed hours. Gamer Fuel cold coffee flavor. Okay, so I got some coffee-flavored energy drink powder from one of those companies once, and I'm not going to name names because it was bad. But it honestly tasted like fruit juice with coffee in it. Like, they use a base that has fruit sugar flavoring in it, and then they just added coffee on top of it, and it was like, oh, this is so bad. So whatever Gamer Fuel you've got in cold coffee flavor, if it doesn't have that problem, I am interested, but presently not in a position to be purchasing silly things like that. I have my coffee budget separate from my grocery budget though, so we're all good. Yeah, no, like it tastes like the company had like a base of flavor that they use, and then they just added coffee flavoring in on top of that fruit flavor. Not my favorite thing. I honestly tried serving it like as an addition with it. Like I made espresso, and then I added some of the powder into it just to see whether or not I could make it at least palatable. Sorry, not hashtag not sponsored. This stream was brought to you by coffee, not a specific kind of coffee, but just the concept of coffee. Honestly, for those reacts, I should replace one of them with a cup of coffee, right? Do I have the option to do that? And I'm not sure that I know how to do it while I'm live. Beans. Rather than saying you should stop drinking once your vision goes blurry, I think you should stop drinking once the anxiety juice has hit your heart. Jokes aside though, please do be careful with caffeine. And yeah, it was basically like a juice with coffee flavoring that I could not get behind. Yeah, I tried adding a little bit of the powder in with a shot of espresso that I made. And even with like fresh espresso, I could not overpower the taste of the sweet fruit sugar. Like the sweetener they used was had a fruity sort of flavor to it, so it just like couldn't overpower it. Oh, I kind of feel a little ill thinking about it. Hey, now one of them's on my head. I should add another one and put it on my head. There we go. Well, thank you, Kiko. Unfortunately, it wasn't as smooth as I would have liked. Oh, my inventory is full. No wonder I'm not advancing this, or doing good on this quest. Hello, Cowdy. hello, Draggy10. Yes, this is the Samaro OST, but I've actually got just a selection of various video game musics, mostly Genshin in my playlist here, so it's a shuffle around of various stuff. But gosh, Samaro has just... all of Genshin OST is just like... I love listening to it. When I was working at my previous job, I would honestly open up the YouTube playlists on the official Genshin channel and just let that run in my headset. Because it's just such nice music to listen to. Oh, my inventory is a situation. I think we'll put away the Taiyaki. Yeah, no, we're gonna equip the Taiyaki. Good night, Shiny Haxer, and yeah, hopefully. And if not, I hope you enjoy the Aura Kingdom Impact once it's out. I hope the changes they've made are enjoyable. I really do wonder how much is going to change from the live streams that they had. Like, I can't imagine it would be much. But like, I caught glimpses of the shop and I thought that the LP costumes and whatnot were a little on the expensive side. But the Eidolons were really inexpensive in the LP store. So I wonder whether or not there's going to be any balances on that front. Put it slightly more there, will it? There we go. That is correct, Draggy10, in Aura Kingdom Impact, not this version that I'm playing right now. Right now I'm playing the old version, where your main class is stuck, but you can freely change your subclass. Anytime. There's just a button here, you can reset your subclass in this version. But in the Aura Kingdom Impact that's going to be coming out on Steam on July 1st in the evening or July 2nd in the morning, depending on your region, that one you will be able to change your main class freely. That being said, they're only releasing the game with 6 classes to start, so it's not like you're going to be flipping between 20 different classes. No heal impact, 100%. I'm really shocked that they have 0 healing classes. I forgot to put this in my... I'll put that in there, why not keep it active? A good question, Bard isn't there. So, whether or not Bard gets released down the line? I'm just curious as to how the game's gonna work when there's no healing? So like basically in the current version of the game, there's 2 classes you use that most people use as subclasses. The Bard for the healing and buffs, and the whatchamacallit, Shuriken for its debuffing and buffing capability. With neither of those available, I guess you're gonna have to get creative, but I'm just really worried about how to sustain when there's no Nocturnal, there's no healing class, there's no, Yeah, perfectly playable without Bard, and yet it's still the choice of most players because it has the buffs. Yinhand, hello! The release is like a refresh, so the game is gonna look physically the same, but they're changing a bunch of systems within it. So for example, as we were just saying, our current game, you pick a main class, and you're stuck with it, but you can change your subclass freely. In the new game, you're going to be able to change your main class and your subclass freely anytime you like. In our version, you're at the very beginning. Well, I mean, it says, and it really depends on your ability, on how those things are going to be obtainable. We'll see. We'll see. Other changes involve things like, in the current version, you have to pick a starter Eidolon before you even really know anything about the game and you're stuck with them. Yeah, you'll only really need one character if you only want to play one character. Yeah, so in the current version, you pick a starter Eidolon from a list of 6 and you're stuck with them forever. In the new game, you're going to get all 6 starter Eidolons. You don't have to worry about making the wrong choice. You're just going to get all 6 over the course of the game. Which is nice. Oh, another change they've made is they've made it so you'll be able to change the effects of your skills by slotting Eidolons into them, like you infusing your Eidolons into your skills to adjust their damage output, their AoE. I don't actually know all of the different effects that Eidolons will have, and I'm sure that over the course of the game they'll add in more powerful Eidolons with more powerful effects, but depending on what those effects are, I was thinking maybe that's where they're gonna hide the healing. I'm excited. They've made it. This game is about 12 years old in the original. Sazen's calling me a tryhard. Got it. Actually, I use Guardian sub on my main character. For the aesthetic, not even because it's a good one to use or I'm carrying and roaring. But yeah, no, they've the game is about 12 years old, so they've taken what they've learned over the years and they've looked at some of the things they regret, like for example that everybody uses Bard sub, everybody uses nocturnal weapons, and they've removed them because it kind of railroads the building. 30 backpacks. You know, I don't even have a backpack. I've got a shoulder bag that I sewed using this weird plasticky material that I found at the dollar bin of a fabric store, and I've used that for like a decade. Actually, I think I need a backpack. Like a real backpack in real life. Not the time to be buying backpacks, though. Alright, so with regards to inventory management, I think that's another thing that is quite clear that we struggle with. So I wonder whether or not we're going to see changes in the amount of backpacks that you get as you just level up. That's going to be something to watch out for. But we just don't know. They didn't give me the early access. I'm too small for that, so. And plus the streamers that were given early access, they were given a level 50 character, and most of them played for about an hour, maybe 2. And they didn't really know, like, obviously they're not people that play Aura Kingdom because they were trying to get it out of the existing community to get more people to learn about it that didn't already. So they wouldn't have really known many of the differences between our current version and what's going to be coming out, but that's not as important, I think, to players that didn't play this one. It would have been really cool, and as I said, I would have been really cheap, right? Because I don't have much of an audience. They could have hired me to promote their game real cheap. One tier key, and I would have done it. Actually, you know, I thought for a bit that they might have paid to make one of my shorts an advertisement. Because for some reason, one of my shorts started getting listed as views that were done through advertising. But ultimately, I think that was just some kind of weird quirk thing. I don't think they actually did, because it was only like 5 or 6 views. Like, I think it might have been a mistake in the YouTube backend. But it was very weird to see the first time. Well, I suppose I could be switching back to the controller now. Yeah, well. Okay, so I was too strong to do it before, but this skill we discovered yesterday gathers mobs at the spot of the target you use it on, but that time it seems like the AoE was too small to actually hit those other mobs, huh? What about this one? No, it didn't work there either. Pulls enemies around the target to the target. See, I feel like that would be really good for Hymn of Doom. Like, you throw down Hymn of Doom and then you drag everything in, but it doesn't work on bosses, obviously, because those kind of things never work on bosses. And it's really hard to get it to work on mobs, it seems. Alright, we're gonna come over here to you. No, no, those guys are a little too tough for that. Water texture down there. Looking rather blocky. I'm using Kotonoha just for the 5% move speed. Maybe I should be using a different Eidolon. Alright, what if I throw it on you? I mean, I assume that it wouldn't work if I kill the target, because a lot of effects in Aura Kingdom don't work when you kill the target, but I'm a bit too squishy to test it out in a party mode. Oh boy, yeah, those dots are not doing me good. Maybe I should have just gone in regular solo. Yeah, not having a cleanse does hurt. Well, it's not just I mean, the soldiers are annoying because they leap at you, but those praying mantises, the dots on them are quite something. So with my only 200,000 HP on top of the jumping guys, I think the dots are like 10,000 HP apiece, aren't they? Let me check that. Well, it's only 5,000, but it stacks really easily as you're running through. Right? And that's 30 seconds that I gotta deal with now, losing more HP than my ballad will heal. Yeah, even a full ballad stack isn't gonna keep me alive from that. At least I didn't get another stack of it. You know what? We're gonna try stunning him to make sure we don't, and I did anyway. Yeah, unfortunately, the as shiny as it is, I needed more HP. I really thought that the reason why my Stellar Saphir absolutely nuked the Awakening and pieced through like no big deal was because I had taken the physical resistance. So I've been taking it since then. But maybe I should throw this on too and just be more tanky until I get the rest of my gear sorted out. Did I get any of them? No. Shoot. No, the way that my controller works is I've got these 4 on the face buttons, then I use R1 to access the 4 on the control buttons. Then I have, that's gonna be L3, R2, and L3. Like clicking on, these 2 are click on the controller, like on the sticks. This one is R2, and then these 4 and these 4 are on the are on the face buttons, or with the face buttons with R2 depressed. So effectively I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 skills that I can access. And if I want to use something like the class buff or one of the other ones, I either need to move the mouse to it or move them into one of those 4 spots based on my needs. These guys hit pretty hard too. Uh-oh. Probably should not have opened that chest. Well, we'll have to frag them. Just about lost my snowman. I was kind of hoping that would get rid of all of them. These guys can hit pretty hard too. What is it? I think I do prefer the old animation for the Hymn of Doom. It just felt a little bit more satisfying. Oh, one more map, huh? Next one's got a lot of running around, though. It's actually not that long. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go back to controller. You can see what it's like trying to quest with a controller. Alright, where did my anti-micro go? And then turn that back on. Voila! So I use the PlayStation button for the F to interact. And then you just gotta set the cursor speed at something where you can actually click on things, although it is easier if you make the UI a bit larger. I suppose my major complaint is that I don't have a button set up for getting on your mount. So the only way I get on my mount when I'm using the controller is by auto-pathing. I suppose that's probably too small in the corner up there. I'll make it a little bit bigger. Oh, you can still glide by tapping up twice. So if I just smash twice on my left stick, which is the up and down, I can still glide on the controller, but I can't get back on the mount after gliding. Still kind of kills me. That the Taiyaki's just like floating in front of your face off the mount. It's not even properly being bitten, it's just floating in front of your face because they didn't properly place it for the kids. Well, this map kind of sucks for autopathing because of all the barriers, too. Oop, not that button. See, I'm really used to on other classes, I've got the 3 buttons set as my gap closer. So having it on 2 is a little weird. But I don't want to change it because I've already gotten used to 3 being my big AoE thing here. It's actually quite awkward. Like, even on the keys, I feel like it's a bit awkward with when the skills teleport you behind things and, like, your angle changes extremely quickly. Like, it's a little disorienting. I don't think it works very well. But I don't know how you'd fix that. Like, whether or not, is there an animation that might work? Like, maybe if it didn't change the angle of the camera, it just changed the position the same way it does for gap closers? Like, here, hold on a second. So get one more stack of that. Right. So if I target this guy and then use this skill, if it just moved me and didn't change the angle of the camera so that it like, wasn't behind the character, I think it would be a little less disorienting. Yeah, come on. There we go. Come here. I should just make the UI a little bit bigger so it's easier to hit things. Oh, I don't like the feel of that. Oh boy. But now it'll be easier to click on things. Oh wow, that feels like my screen just got smaller. I was even behind him that time, and it was still really jarring to teleport. Oh, this is uphill, so it doesn't make for a good double gliding. Oh. Man. I feel like my timing is really off for trying to double jump on the controller these days. Just can't nail it first try anymore. Ugh. Use another cup of coffee in real life too. I stayed up a little bit late last night because I was goofing around, enjoying that unemployed for 1 week life, thinking, well, I can sleep in, but no, brain just makes me wake up at 4:15. So despite the fact that in my time zone we're not even in double digits yet, I've already been awake for how many hours? 4, 5, 6, 7. I've already been awake for 5 hours. And it's not even 10 a.m. Hey, Oniza! Oh. I swear, if you were to, like, go back and check out every single one of my live streams, has there ever been in a situation or a time when I was super awake? Maybe I should just sleep a lot this week. Except that I think I've already kind of locked in for a 12-kilometer bike ride tomorrow, so good luck me. I'm gonna bike over to my sister's place and pick up some sandwiches en route, and she's gonna grab some drinks. And we're gonna have a picnic, and then I'm gonna bike home. Honestly, has there seriously ever been a stream where I wasn't sleepy the entire time? Doesn't matter what time of day it is. I think I've just been really exhausted from work. So, I know I said that I was nervous because I've never been in a position where I was working casual where it's not guaranteed hours. But I still think I made the right choice to leave my old job and start casual at a place with a much higher pay. Because I think I need a bit more rest for a bit. I think I was burnt out on dispatching trucks. Time to go get burnt out doing something else. I think once we finish around... We're almost finished in this corner of the map, and then there's just a couple quests around the center area on the bridge, and then we're inside the dungeon. Don't forget, we can't go into solo challenge mode. We have to go into solo regular mode, and then that's gonna be it for today, because I think I'm gonna go take a nap. Honestly, that's gonna be the entire week. Just a little bit of something, then a nap. Oh, there's so much I want to do. I'm hoping tomorrow I'd like to put together a little summary of all of the changes for Aura Kingdom Impact, because I know that if you put all of the videos side by side, not only was there speculation in earlier videos that we've got answers to, but it's a pretty long amount of time just to get the info. So I was thinking I'd put together like a summary of all of the changes really fast, and then a quick should you play Aura Kingdom Impact, or should you play the regular or the old one? I don't know, I think the answer to that's pretty clear, that if you're just starting, you'll probably get a better experience in Aura Kingdom Impact. But it is a question that I've had a lot of people ask. What version should they play? And then on top of that, I want to do the live streaming on Aura Kingdom Impact and give away those Muramasa keys, and then I want to work on the comparison videos for the old versus new one, Lancer and Warbow, and oh my gosh. Where are my naps going? Oh. Naps. Yeah, it's weird because there's not a lot of things that I've done in life as long as I worked that job. Like, even like high school felt like such a long time when I was doing it, and that was shorter than the amount of time that I've spent working at the same company. And leaving it after all that time was just really nerve-wracking. So last week I spent most of the week just like chilling with my pup and trying to convince myself I made the right choice here. I don't know where I'm running. Wrong direction. So I didn't get much progress done on anything. I was just goofing around all week. Getting stressed. But I think I'll try to put together a little schedule of what I'd like to get done and then see if I can stick to it without taking too many naps. Actually, I had some relatives in from out of town, coincidentally. So I decided to joke and tell them that I was quitting my job to go full-time on YouTube, and they're like, oh, congratulations. I didn't let it sit too long though, because I didn't really want to worry them. I liked on the earlier maps when they made it so you just got everything, so you didn't have to select the item you were taking. Much easier on a controller. Oh, you know what? Actually, maybe instead of a nap, someone actually donated me a coffee that I haven't had a chance to go out and enjoy. So maybe I'll go for a walk after and hit one of the local cafes and go for that. That might be nice. Maybe a nice walk out in the sunlight will do me good. hit the cafe and bring my tablet and get some writing done. Oh, I guess I'm caught in combat, so I can't use my mount. I really hate these areas with NPCs that are fighting actual targets. And then when one of those targets kind of catches you in combat, you're just stuck in combat. These guys are the worst for how spread out they are. Even like on Ravager, you can only kill one at a time. Come on, knocked me out of the sky. Oh shoot, it was the one by the door. And I ran all that way for nothing. Oh, Divine Trial. I wonder if that's still bugged. I'm gonna assume yes. Oh, as tempting as it is to jump into there, I should probably just focus on my mission. Although I wouldn't mind having a Holy Spirit on this account. Because right now I still don't have anything in my Holy Spirit slot on any of my characters. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're into the dungeon now. Uh-oh. Just a second. I'll throw this on because this is what is happening. Stella just started crying. 1 second. What? Sorry about that. The little Missy's bone fell down the back of the bed. And she couldn't get it anymore. No, not solo hard. We have to go in regular solo mode. Oops, I just rolled over my controller cable. There we go. Alright, the tricky thing about this dungeon, if you're not familiar with it, is these crafty demons have a skill that will bounce between you and other targets. So if you've got like pets or eidolons out, you can get hit a whole bunch of times by them really rapidly, especially if you're close to your party members or your eidolons. So the easy way to handle that is don't summon your eidolons. And just make sure to knock them all out before you advance on to the next section. The directions of the lava flow are unconvincing. Uh-oh, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I think the only tricky thing about this dungeon is those crafty guys. As compared to the other ones, the mobs don't hit as hard. Dawn Passage really is my least favorite of the S1s. It doesn't deserve a time of day name. Jeez, I'm like as tall as his knee. Well, Yenhand, we've got the high difficulty dungeons that they occasionally run, the nightmares. They actually don't have one running right now. You've got the Vault of Eternity, and you've also got the endgame raids. Questionable whether or not you think it's good or bad the way that they run the raids, but the way the raids are is all of them are based on Sky Tower, which is theoretically a 100 floor tower, but we've only got floors 1 through 75. So floors 1 to 25 are on Thursday. Then on Friday there's a raid for floors 26 to 50. And then on Saturday you've got a raid for floor 51 to 75. And I'm gonna say, at the point we're at, for the most part, the bosses in Sky Tower are now getting a little bit trivial. Like, even the very, very last ones are a little bit trivial. I have to beat 2 bosses at the same time on the 75th floor, but it's not... I haven't seen a raid fail because they couldn't DPS them. I've seen raids fail because they couldn't get through the previous floors, which have, like, more technical stuff that need people participating and doing stuff. Oh. For me, endgame is I like to just run dungeons. I find the combat satisfying in and of itself. And I level up multiple characters. You know, right around the time this game came out, I think was the original, like, Sword Art Online kind of buzz. So a 100 floor tower probably was inspired by that as a concept. At least I seem to remember when I first started, when open beta started, I seem to remember there being some Sword Art Online hubbub. Oh shoot, did I do that? Oh no, I defeat Loki. I didn't goof too badly. I thought I might have accidentally had to run the dungeon again, even though I entered the right mode. Smacked. Even in their promotional materials, they were really pushing the duelist, so I think that might have been, like, trying to capitalize on that. What a time. And then the person who got the Kirito name, lucky them. When actually for area, they if you bought one of like the pre-release packs, like the founders packs, you were able to reserve a name before anybody else. So I think that's probably where Kirito went. As for me, my first name in this game was actually Philosophia, which is my wizard. Midday was when I made my bow, and the bow was released a couple of months, like maybe half a year into the game's life. Baby's first Sky Tower. Oh gosh, the first time I did Sky Tower, my friends had done it earlier in the day because they have raid slots. The first slot of the day was too early for me, so my friends had done it and they were like, oh, it's fine, yeah, we totally beat level 10 or floor 10, no problem. And I'm like, okay, so it's not that hard, we'll be fine. And then my raid didn't even get past floor 5. I think we ended on floor 4. Like, we couldn't beat floor 4. And I was so sad. Honestly, one of these days it might be nice to try to, But I've always thought that it might be fun to do like a Sky Tower with old gear, like try to get together a group of people to do Sky Tower, but only in level 60 gear. But with the archive, it's not like anybody really is weak enough that it would actually be a struggle to see all the mechanics from those old floors. That being said, for Aura Kingdom Impact, floor 1 through 25, we're gonna have to probably know the mechanics for the fights again. And I'm an expert. Because I suffered through them back in the day. But with that being said, this is the end of the quest line here. So this is the amount of experience that I was able to get with everything. So I think I'm gonna call it for the day here. And even with all those buffs, we did not hit S2 on 3 maps. 68%. Yeah, not bad. Not bad, but it's not super impressive. I don't think I want to sit here and grind out more daily quests while I've got my buffs on. I think I just want to either go to a cafe or take a nap. So thanks so much everybody for joining. Again, I think what I've learned is just how impressive the Stellar Saphir is. It's just such a good class for people that don't have a bunch of fancy gear. It's just amazing. I love it. If anybody asks what class a new player should play, Stellar Saphir is now the official 100% correct answer. There's no debating it anymore. So that being said, I am going to call it. Thanks so much for joining me. It's a lot nicer when I don't have to... When I'm not alone and have to... honestly, when I'm alone, actually, I put on different music and I sing along. But every time I sing in a live stream, I lose a subscriber, so try to avoid that these days. Anyway, bye! I'm terrible at ending streams. I always am.